The Colorado Avalanche are absolutely terrifying. They currently sit atop the entire NHL in multiple different statistics, and this team has all sorts of different facets that are working so much in their favor, and they are going to be a force to be reckoned with, not just for the remainder of the National Hockey League season, but way later down the road when we get into the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is an Avalanche team that is very capable of making a deep playoff run. And we're going to break it all down here today on Avalanche Digest. We're going to be talking all things NHL standings. We're going to break down how the Avs have gotten themselves into the position that they are right now. Even touch on some of the struggles that they've had throughout the season, regardless of the fact that they are atop the NHL right now. We're talking all things Avs hockey today here on Avs Digest. I'm your host, Mark Robinson, joined by my co-host, Gavin Oceguera. Gavin, thanks for joining me today. Very exciting stuff that the Avs are absolutely buzzing right now, sitting atop of the National Hockey League. They have 21 points. They still only have one regulation loss. Just kind of generally speaking, to open up this conversation, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about this Avs team that is sitting at the top of the NHL mountain?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I don't know how you can be. Like, obviously, you have problems. You've got the power play struggles. You've got the fact that they can't win in overtime. But I don't know how you can look at 21 points, league leading, and still be upset. It's like, if you're a sports fan, just you got to be loving life right now. I don't see how you can look at it any differently.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I mean, through the first week of the season, week and a half, we were in the same spot. We were like most points in the league, top of the NHL. And a lot of people were saying it's so early. You're just getting lucky wins, like all that kind of stuff. I feel like we're really getting into the, nitty gritty of the season. We've got, a decent amount of games behind us. We've played a lot of variable talent. We've played against some of the best teams in the league and beaten them. We've played against some of the teams that are struggling in the league and put up really good games in that regard as well. I think that this is maybe one of the first rankings in, top 16 teams in the league that were released this morning that is pretty accurate, and the Avs sit atop everybody in the league right now, and it's obviously very exciting stuff. There's so much that's working for this team right now. All of our forward lines are doing really well. Moving Landeskog down to that third line, I think, really helped and really benefited the depth and gave him an opportunity to be a little bit more of an enforcer and kind of knock some last-minute rust off and solidify himself into a role as being back as a full-time winger for this Colorado Avalanche hockey team. But, I mean, like you said, Gavin, there's a few things that are not necessarily working, a few things that are struggling. To turn the conversation to a more positive note, what are some of the things that you like about this team the most right now? Like, what about this team is so positive that has put them in this first place position in all sorts of different facets?
I think just well, first of all, their system is honestly one of the best I've seen it in a very long time. I mean, when you're hanging out in the top right quadrants of all the best, like 5v5 stats, generating offense, like how good you are defensively, that's a really good sign. And in every facet, you look at that top nine, that's great. I mean, they make the change to move Colton up, move Landeskog down, and everybody looks the better for it. Landeskog continues to be good game after game. Nelson continues to be great. Like you have a really good top nine that's working out. The only concern I'd have is like left wing long term. Is Colton really your second line left wing? But honestly, that's not a tall order to go get a left wing in this league if you really, really need it. So ultimately, I mean, there's a lot to like about it. Power play seems to be finding its way back, starting to get on the board a little bit. You're getting even your fourth line, which you obviously have. I think they only get played like 5 minutes a night or something like that, something crazy. Bednar just choosing his favorites right there. But you have a Logan O'Connor coming back. You have a Gavin Brindley who was playing great, should be coming back soon. I think he's just precautionary. They pulled him. And that with Kelly, that's going to make a really fun fourth line in just a week. And you also have Sam Girard coming back. So the trend for the Avalanche isn't only sustainable, it's also on the up and up.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think the fourth line is probably the most inconsistent piece of the team right now, but not necessarily in a bad way. there's just been some interesting injury things going on, like Joel Kiviranta is currently still day-to-day, week-to-week, dealing with an injury. You got Taylor Makar coming up and playing his first NHL game, and then Tristan Nielsen playing his first game as well. You've got a precautionary injury with Gavin Brindley going on. The fourth line looks different every single night. But like you mentioned, once we get a Logan O'Connor back, once we get a Joel Kiviranta back, I think that line's going to be more consistent and it's going to be more reliable as well. And then another thing you mentioned too, Gabe Landeskog, he might not have a bunch of points on the board right now, but he's doing everything else that needs to be done in his role. He's an enforcer. He's fighting guys on the ice. He's making phenomenal plays in the neutral zone up at the point. He's playing really good hockey, and he's really starting to settle in to his role as captain. Sometimes you don't need your captain to have multi-point nights all the time. You kind of just need him to be there doing the enforcing and all that kind of stuff, which I think is definitely very notable. So I wanted to take a look at this post on X here. Colorado at number 1 is absolutely correct in the power rankings right now. Very dominant to open the season. Only 1 regulation loss after 14 games, and 3 of 5 overtime losses could have easily been regulation victories. They have points in 13 of their 14 games, which is unreal. And I think, we touched on overtime a little bit, Gavin, and I kind of wanted to bring the conversation back in again. Imagine if even half of those overtime wins went in favor of the Avalanche. We would be like very spaciously, comfortably in first place right now. It's just this overtime issue that needs to get fixed a little bit, but I feel like it's on an upward trend, and I feel like we won't see that issue as much moving forward. I'm not sure if you agree with me on that or not.
Yeah, I think it's it's statistically impossible to lose that many overtime games over the course of a season. I don't know I think they're on trend to lose 20. That's not going to happen. So, and when you have players like MacKinnon and Makar and Necas, and you don't play them together, which is what everyone is saying, you always have the opportunity to win an overtime like that. But yeah, I was looking at, funny enough, you say that, I was looking at the standings this morning and I was like, oh man, if we just had 2 more points, we would be so easily just making a great cushion for ourselves in the Central Division. You see Dallas reeling right now, kind of honestly being a really weird team in terms of their potential. And the Jets are just frauds. That's who they are. And you also got the Mammoth having their fun time when they're in the top 3, which will not last. So right now, the Central, for the first time in a long time, is really weak. And that allows the Avs to pretty much, especially as a surging team like they are, just really take over here. And yeah, I mean, you look at all the potential for the schedule, which I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit soon. The Avs have been playing a pretty tough amount of teams. They're teams that, for the most part, are at least at 500 or above. They're finally getting some opponents that are actually bad, which is great for our schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole league is definitely in an upward trend right now. Obviously, there's teams that are struggling, but I think as of yesterday, there wasn't a single team in the entire Eastern Conference that wasn't below 500, or maybe it was just one of the divisions within the Eastern Conference. I read that stat somewhere. It's not confirmed.
I think it was both.
Yeah, I think it was. No, I definitely think it was too. But I completely agree. The fact that we have this record and we have this point mark, I mean, you see here, we're controlling points and point percentage. We have the highest goal differential at a plus 13 right now. Everything about our game is very solidified right now. It's very strong. One thing that I did hear in the media that I thought was actually pretty accurate is the Avs just do this thing where, even though they're arguably one of the best teams in the National Hockey League, bigger picture, not just right now, they just do this thing where they just forget how to win for a game or 2 or 3 sometimes. And it throws the stats off. It gets things out of whack a little bit. But I don't think that that's something that we have to worry about super long term. I think there's a lot of excitement around this team. And I think that the fact that the Avs are this comfortable in a position where they lead their division and their conference and the entire league, it shows a lot of really upward promise looking forward over the next few weeks here, just for the entire season. I wanted to take a look at some of the guys on the team that are performing the best. I mean, obviously, the man himself, Nate Dogg, has 20 points. That's tied for second in the league right now, doing super well all over the ice, playing a very efficient forward game as he does. Cale Makar leads all defensemen in the National Hockey League with 18 points. he's playing unreal as well. Saw something the other day that he's the favorite to win the Hart Trophy right now, which would be unreal to see him win the same award that his teammate Nate Dogg won just a few years ago. And I mean, going down the list here, Gavin, any other guys you want to touch on? Anyone that's like really been standing out to you and just impressing you in this lineup so far through our first few games in the season?
I mean, honestly, the one that pops off first is the newest member of the Avs core, Martin Necas, the guy they entrusted all the money to. And he's been playing great, like 18 points. I think he's got like 9 goals and 9 assists, like perfectly balanced. And yeah, he's been everything you wanted him to be in the regular season. And his playoff performances are trending on the up. So Netches has been great in his role. Victor Olofsson being like the second coming of Burakovsky, it almost looks like, because just the way he's contributing. I think he wears the same number too, is what I saw. So that's
Yes, he
uncanny.
does. 95. You're totally
Yeah.
right. It's a
So
great
it's
point.
and yeah, no. So Olafson, what a great pickup there. You obviously you see Lehkonen and Nichushkin there, but I do want to highlight like Brett Burns continuing to just turn back the clock on his age. Jack Drury is looking like a real 3C. Brock Nelson, I did look up, also has 5 points. Like he is the 11th guy that doesn't show up on this chart, but he's also on the trend upwards. So I mean, like you're seeing everything going up on the graph. You're not seeing anything turn down. You're not looking at like, oh, this is going to collapse any moment. Like, no, we're good. We're not the Vegas Golden Knights. We're fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think another notable aspect of all this too is we have one of the best top lines in the National Hockey League, period. And a lot of people say within the NHL, even if you have one of the best top lines in the league, your middle six, your bottom six, all of that kind of stuff, it has to live up to the hype. And I think all of our lines are doing exactly that right now. I think you could make the argument that a lot of our top 9 players, a lot of our like middle six, second, third line players could be top line, top 6 wingers on a very large amount of other teams in the National Hockey League. We have a very deep roster. And you almost look at all of the moves and all the trades and all the signings that Chris MacFarland has made over the last year and a half, 2 years, and it's all just starting to come together for this perfect roster. And it feels like it's really destined for great things, which is very exciting stuff. All right, so taking a look at the schedule coming up, considering that the Avs currently lead the league right now in points, goal diff, point percentage. They're all over the top of the NHL. They have kind of an odd break. They last played 2 days ago, got that 3-2 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They don't play again until this weekend, and they have what's going to be, I think, a solidly tough back-to-back, playing the Edmonton Oilers and then the Vancouver Canucks back-to-back nights in Canada, long road trip. And we just saw the Avs struggle on a back-to-back, losing to the San Jose Sharks in overtime. But after that, pretty significant homestand and some interesting games as well. It'll be exciting to see them play against teams like the Anaheim Ducks, obviously the Buffalo Sabres. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that should be pretty solid lock for the Avs. And then playing against the Islanders, they've got the number 1 pick, Matthew Schaefer, who is buzzing right now, playing really well at his age, and then playing against a struggling Rangers team as well. So not a super daunting next few weeks for the Colorado Avalanche. Gav, what are you most excited for this, these next few weeks, looking forward, what the Avs are hoping to do in terms of continuing their dominance across the entire league?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I'm looking at right now is we had that stretch of games where we're playing all this top competition. We're mostly dominating. We're getting points out of every single one. We're beating several of the best teams in the league. Like Vegas was surging at that point in time. You saw Jersey, and then Tampa was also coming off a 5-game win streak. So you shut all of them down. But now's the chance to be like, oh, well, we just can't finish all right, or well, we don't have this. Like, we have all the pieces to do it. Go out and win like 5 or 6 straight. Like, actually go on a torrid winning streak and show what you can do, because the potential is there. Like, you have the points, but just silence everyone that wants to bring into doubt anything about the team right now, because you have competition that is reeling. I mean, the Oilers are not very good right now. They never are in the beginning of the season. The Canucks are who they are for their entire existence, with the second best defenseman in the league. Go out, like, especially with that coming off that Sharks back to back, like, you've got to be looking at yourself saying, like, we got to go in and we got to win the back to back. Like, that's got to be a motivator.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, you. Oh, sorry, go
after
ahead.
the back to back too, you've got, you know, a homestand with some time in between to rest and reset. And so I think this back-to-back would set a really good standard of making sure that you get these 2 games, you come away with as many points as you can, and then you come home, you get to be in the state of Colorado in front of Avs faithful, and that's when you really take off and try to open this gap of leading the league in points and goal diff and, leading your division and conference as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the chance to really get in front of some of the teams here. You have like the Jets, you have Dallas. They have some tough teams coming up. So take the opportunity that's given to you. Make a good cushion for yourself because this fully healthy lineup isn't going to last forever, especially knowing Avs. So just yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
let's get a great streak of hockey going.
Absolutely. Very exciting stuff for the Avs, leading the NHL in points and goal diff. They're atop of the mountain of hockey, and it's very exciting stuff for everybody that's an Avs fan. So if you're an Avs fan and you want to keep following us here at Avs Digest, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're growing as fast as we possibly can. No ceiling for our growth, but our goal short term is to try to get to 2,000 subscribers as fast as we can. So hit that free subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for your supporting. Gavin, thank you for hopping on and joining me for another duo. More of these to come in the future. Until we see you next time, make sure you check out our other videos. Stay tuned for more Avs coverage and make it a great rest of your day. Cheers, everybody.